Gold. Any radio gold.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of that here.
We got it on the audio recording. I don't know if you listened to last week's episode.
What
The
was
turtle,
on last?
turtle power?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
You know what, CJ?
Oh, what's that?
When you stand for what you believe in
Fight to do what's right.
and find the strength to do what's right,
No, that's what it is.
that's turtle power.
There you go.
Not all that nonsense that Stuart was saying. Yeah, that's not it. I don't know what that is.
Heroes on a half shell. They're on a mission.
When there's a battle, got the enemy
Oh,
wishing.
God.
Wishing that they stayed at
Staying
home.
at home instead of fighting these ninja
These
masters,
ninja masters
was
with
like
moves
lightning.
Did you
They
guys
were
see?
once normal, but now they're mutants.
Splinters
Splinters the
the teachers,
teachers,
so
they are the students. Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello make up the team with one other fellow, Raphael.
I take exception to the next line.
He is not the leader of the
He's
group.
not the leader of the group.
No.
You changed the continuity for your silly little
can't.
rap song.
You can't do that.
No.
Did you see the
That's the
YouTube
crime.
video
That's the crime they were committing. Those partners.
Crime.
of the real Ghostbusters opening in 3D that Brian, gameplay dev, tweeted out?
The
Real
real Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
I don't understand that whole phrase.
Brian Davis.
Yeah.
I know him.
You know the real Ghostbusters. You know that
Personally.
that animated team, the
Yeah.
animated cartoon
Yes.
from the 80s.
I'm watching it right now. There's
There's a redone opening theme that I guess one of my friends did in,
Ghostbusters.
3D.
Oh, really?
And it's pretty awesome. Like, yeah, looks pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would watch that show.
There we go. So wait, he did this?
He did not. No, a friend of his.
Oh, okay.
That show was okay.
That
It
show was
wasn't
great. Come on,
Toys were
come on.
I had the toys.
What?
The toys were fantastic.
That was
I have
fantastic. Come on.
have the whole series of that on digital versatile disc. I'll have
Yeah?
you know. I do.
Should we start?
Did they release that all nice and legal like, or
No, this was legit. That was
legit? Right? Yeah.
what, the real Ghostbusters?
When was that released?
This was years ago.
A long time.
Time Life released it.
Oh.
You could get the whole series in
Time
one
Life?
big.
Really?
Yeah.
They did the Muppet Show stuff too.
It's actually it's really nice because it's the entire series. It comes packed in a collector's box that looks like the Firehouse, and inside the Firehouse there are like 5 or 6 steel books. They're all in steelbook cases.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, like and like actual steelbook brand. You know, not like those knockoff. You know, fake.
There's
Not the cheap stuff.
There's a brand
no.
called Steelbook.
Yeah, steelbook is a. Oh, see, you are part of the
I didn't know
problem.
It's like
Steelbook.
Kleenex.
Or Xerox, for that matter.
Yeah.
No, steelbook is
Yeah, but to be
a
fair,
brand.
unlike Kleenex, like Steelbook is actually a descriptive term.
Well, Steelbook also makes Kleenexes. They make tissues.
Really? They make Kleenex?
Steelbook brand facial tissues.
Steelbook brand Kleenex.
I get the feeling of steel on your face.
Nothing is more soothing when you have bad allergy season
Here, blow your nose into this.
than the comforting feel of steel wool scraping against your nostrils.
All right, should we do a clap, CJ?
Yeah, let's do it.
You count it down, big man.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I think we did it.
That was the
All right.
best.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
What?
Nothing. I was just looking at CJ Phil updating
I did.
his list of games.
Updating. I played through something else.
Updating.
Yeah.
Measuring.
You all recording?
You're overweight.
Jesus.
Yeah, I
You know
know.
worried too.
I know, Nintendo. I know.
Those Wii Fit trackers were on the clearance aisle at
Oh
Target.
yeah,
It's
they
very
were like $6
tempting.
or something. Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
I have an
throwing it
extra
across the
somewhere.
room.
Or I have a box one somewhere.
What are you
I
What are you
lost my
drinking there?
original one. I
It's
lost my
it's
original one.
doing you a lot of good being in the box.
Yeah.
Well, I was wearing my Wii Fit U tracker, and then it popped off somewhere.
Popped off.
And
Oh, you
no
lost
idea.
it
I lost it. Yeah.
during one of your strenuous workouts.
I was gonna say, were you jogging at the time, or
I think my wife and I went out to
Yeah,
dinner.
he was
and
jogging. You weren't out to dinner with your
you were
wife?
stuffing your fat face and it popped off?
That's right.
Maybe
I was
that's maybe
running-
the belt exploded. Is that what happened?
I was running to the taco truck outside work, and it fell off.
Park closer next time.
Uh,
Running to the taco truck. Will you take this in trade?
oh boy.
All right.
Hold on here. Let me grab a. I'm classing the show up this week,
Are you?
gentlemen.
Are you? Oh wow!
Podcast. The podcast.
Look at this.
I'm classing the show up too. I got my
Yeah. Oh, the Cherry Zero.
yeah.
Cherry
Represent.
Zero. I'm enjoying a fine Sonoma Chardonnay.
Sonoma Chardonnay.
Napa Sonoma.
Now Greg knows how I feel. Okay. Now I'm gonna go into
Yep.
coughing fit.
This is good. This is great.
Yep.
That's some good audio.
There we go.
This is why no one listens to us anymore.
That's true.
We got 10 viewers. That's good.
Do we really? Do we have 10 viewers right now?
Those poor people. I hope they have the audio off.
Let's give these viewers a treat.
Oh, wow.
What?
I'm not
I
looking
was-
at the screen. Did Phil just take
I
his
was
shirt off?
I was
Yeah.
stripping for all you folks listening via the radio.
How did I know that was what was going on?
It's right. We're inching ever closer to the devil.
Oh, my God.
What? I warned you.
Hello and welcome to episode 467 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, October
It's about
20th,
time someone started
year of
the
our
show.
Lord 2015.
Maybe not your lord, my lord's the devil.
I am your host, Chris Johnston.
Throwing
Oh,
up
wait,
the
I didn't update that.
horns.
I am your host, Greg Seward. With me, as always, is the real host, Chris Johnston, who he feels a little under the weather this week. He's a sad panda.
That's right. That was a terrible
Oh.
intro.
What's wrong,
Terrible.
CJ? Given what we've had lately, that was pretty good. What's wrong? What's wrong, CJ?
I'm coming off some allergies or maybe a cold
Really?
or something.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you come
Well-
off some allergies? Like, do allergies end?
What's that?
Pollen counts go down.
Yeah.
True.
Come on.
You know.
Cut me some slack, Jack.
Really?
Yeah.
And that,
Don't worry, Greg. I speak jive.
Stewardess, I speak jive. Well, that other voice you hear is our favorite guest host from the West Coast. Yeah, you've been downgraded to guest host again
Great.
after 460 some odd episodes.
Well, the first time I was a guest host, I think it only took me about 3 years of being
Yep.
on the
You know
show
what?
every week to get
gonna
bumped
take
back up. So,
3 more years to be on the show
we go.
every week.
so about the time
Get
we
it
hit
back.
the devil episode, I'll be a full-time host again.
The challenge is for you to be on the show every week for 3 years straight.
Well, let's see what happens.
We love you, Phil. It's Phil Theobald, everybody.
You know what, Greg? Don't patronize me.
I'm not.
I don't need this from you. I don't need your false suggestions of love when I have real love coming from CJ right over there.
Sure you
That's
do.
the director's cuts.
That's right.
You gotta
right.
you gotta give
How
to
you-
the Patreon to see that video.
How you doing? How you doing, Greg?
Good.
Good.
There was
I'm glad
frost
to
on
hear.
my windshield the other day.
Oh, the snow is coming.
We've reached July in Canada.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
How was Thanksgiving?
It was great. It was a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. We already talked about that.
It was
Did we?
a week ago.
Yeah.
Was
It
it
was
only
like
a week
last.
ago?
Wasn't
What
it
are you saying?
last
A
week?
couple weeks ago. It was last week.
Give me that. We were making fun of you last week for having Thanksgiving at the wrong time. And now I'm asking you how it was. Did you enjoy?
great.
What do you guys eat up there? Chicken. Chicken
Waffles.
and fake cranberries.
Fake cranberries.
You know what I'm saying. I don't know. Because you have some sort of you have a false holiday.
We
We
eat moose and maple syrup.
Do you really?
You put the cranberries
Traditional
on your
Canadian
poutine.
fare. No, we
I
Cranberry
wasn't going
poutine.
to say that because it would have sounded racist, but
it's turkey. We eat
how
turkey.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes,
It's stuffing in there.
little stuffing. Yeah.
Is
Good stuffing.
the stuffing just wet maple leaves?
No.
Oh.
Bread imported from the U.S.
CJ liked the wet maple leaves.
Sounds.
Not really. I feel sorry for Craig. He's a host. He's trying to move the show along, and this is
I'm
what he
not.
gets.
Honestly, I'm not trying to move the show along at all.
No. Nope.
Oh, okay.
I see that. See, CJ has we have the rundown that we put our information into, but CJ sent me the secret special host rundown, and there's actually 5 minutes allotted for it. I think it says Phil's bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Phil riff. He's going. Just
Because if you don't let him, he's just going to keep trying until you do.
stand back.
Hey, you know what? This
What?
week is the Back to the Future week.
It is. It's the actual week.
Oh boy, I'm so glad that's finally happening, so I can stop reading about it every 5 seconds.
Did you see my big conspiracy theory that I posted on the Twitter?
You've still got 2 minutes left in the Phil speed
Okay.
section.
Okay. This is my big conspiracy theory. Universal Pictures,
Mm-hmm.
owners of the Back to the Future franchise.
Run by Biff Tannen.
Yes. No. What they are doing, it's the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
A lot of promotional stuff happening, a lot of special events, big re-release of the movie trilogy on Blu-ray, DVD.
There's a documentary out.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, all
Cool,
sorts
I'd
of
watch
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Re-release of the game that came out and everything.
Mhm.
A lot of hype behind Back to the Future going on.
I'd watch
right
Marty's
now.
mom in Blu-ray.
Leah Thompson?
Yeah.
Oh, mad! Why watch Leah Thompson just about anywhere? My goodness. Woo. Lordy.
I do declare.
I do believe I'm getting the vapors, Miss Thompson. So Universal Pictures has paid off Major League Baseball
All
I
right.
did see this.
to rig
The Cubs.
so that the Cubs win. This is all just it's a promotional stunt. The Cubs are going to win the
No,
World Series this year
I
because
love.
I wish I had gone back in time and put some money on the Cubbies.
there you go.
I would
Also-
love.
Also, Nintendo had Gunpei Yokoi killed.
Oh, Jesus.
So
I would love
I
it
don't
if
think
the MLB was in such dire straits that they would actually do something like that. That would just be so
it's
great.
just a marketing campaign.
it is.
Yeah.
It has been for the last however many how many
Professional
decades.
wrestling at this point. They're doing it for the plot line.
Yeah.
And plotline is that the Blue Jays are choking. So you know.
How are the raccoons doing? I
get nothing.
That's a
Cyril Sneer and the
it's a Cartoon Network reference there. CJ should have got that.
Is it?
Cartoon
Yeah,
Network
it's
reference.
Yeah, regular show. Did you ever see regular show,
Oh,
CJ?
see, I thought you were talking about the
Not
actual
very many
Raccoons
episodes,
show.
no.
You work for them tangentially.
I do.
Tangentially.
I do.
Okay.
I've seen that Rick and Morty show.
So Phil, right? You've seen the Canadian show, The Raccoons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like from the 80s, early
Yeah.
80s or
It
something.
was
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I remember that show.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of it other than I have seen some of it back when I was a kid.
It's close enough.
So I have no opinions of it, so
All right.
yeah.
Well, your opinion should be that it was awesome. So let's get to some headlines.
SCTV was awesome. I've seen some of that.
SSCTV was. Did you hear Rick Moranis is talking about doing movies again? Finally.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Or
Cool.
apparently he never actually retired.
No, he just stopped working for a while.
Yeah.
And he turned down the new Ghostbusters movie. And,
Yeah.
I
like his reasoning now on that. Like he, didn't want to redo a thing that he did 30 years ago. Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, for sure. I respect Rick Moranis. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. From what I understand, just doing HD remakes of things, that's when you've run out of ideas.
That was EA's comment, right?
I'm trying to segue this into game talk. I'm the one trying to move the show forward.
That's not a news story that I picked out.
Well, it kind of is in a way. If you want, let's jump down. So there's
no, it's not one CJ picked out, so it's hardly news.
No, all of mine are Nintendo related, so let's.
As usual. So did you hear about this?
Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
Brianna
Wu
doesn't like your
indie game
remakes.
Well, she can go get a job at EA.
So yeah, Brianna Wu is head of the development at Giant Space Cat, and one of the many people that got caught up in the whole became a target during the whole Gamergate.
Now,
crap.
Brianna Wu is the famous British sci-fi show about the time traveler. Correct?
No, I think that's Dr. Wu.
Oh, okay.
And as far as I know, Brianna is not a PhD, but I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know.
But I don't know. Anyway, she was at something recently, GamesBeat 2015, where she talked about how current games all suck because there's no innovation.
Yeah.
And she seemed to lay it at the feet of the fact that there aren't enough women in the industry.
You're paraphrasing, really, though. I mean, she didn't say that all current generation.
Said, when I look at the PS4 and I look at the Xbox One, I don't know what you see. I see a generation with almost no innovation.
There you
Hold
go.
on,
That's quote.
Exact quote. All games suck except for that new Transformers game, which is pretty sweet.
That is actually.
Have you guys seen that new Transformers game? Because it's kind of awesome. So
I don't think I saw that from the transcript.
That was that's what I'm reading.
Okay.
And the point she was making is that if tech was made more inclusive for women, it could help to breed innovation that the innovation she feels is lacking from this generation of games.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, what do you think?
That might be part of it.
That could be part of it. Yeah.
I think. Innovation. Like you look at the generations of consoles, and to me, the innovative parts always happen towards the end. Like early on, you have ports and multi-platform titles that sort of have to cross gen. So there's not as much innovation there, and we get that stuff late usually. I feel.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I feel like she's not wrong.
Well, no.
There is a lack of innovation, especially at the AAA level, but I also think it's pretty easily explained. I don't want to say that that's due to a lack of gender balance on AAA games teams, so much as it is due to the fact that making the same game over and over again is very safe because it keeps selling. So,
and I think we've talked about it on the show, the sort of disappearance of anything but AAA. Right, you have AAA, and then you have indie in the middle is kind of disappearing.
Yeah, the mid tier is disappearing. You've got indie and you've got AAA, and there's not much else there, which is sad. But I don't think gender equality is the problem there. Although I do agree that making tech more inclusive for women would help to breed more innovation. Yes,
sure.
I don't know that would happen at the AAA level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was interesting, and of course, this story was published on Games Industry Biz, and yes, the comments went exactly where you expected them to go.
Of course.
Of course. Although it's interesting because it turned very quickly into like if you disagreed at all with it, then you were just standard man hating or woman hating man. I don't know.
Misogynist.
Yeah.
as a straight white male, I think that it is my duty. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, my right, my duty, my job to tell a woman what she should think about gender issues. Though I think that I am obligated to let a woman know that I think things are just okay for women. Things are fine.
Yeah.
Everything is fine for women. There are enough women in tech. Maybe if they more women wanted to be in tech, more women would be men.
You can't say that you're kidding because some people will take this seriously, and then
Are you really?
You got to say that you're kidding, otherwise we'll get emails.
People starting to listen to the podcast at episode 467. Maybe not quite familiar with Phil
you're
yet.
Kidding. Yeah.
I'm kidding. You know what I was doing? I was using sarcasm to make the opposite point.
No.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
I don't want to liken myself to Norman Lear's Archie Bunker, but
you're kind of that.
But I'm
important.
I'm kind of that big of a deal.
Yeah. I think one of the big innovations this gen has been streaming and just social in general. Like, I feel, a lot of the power has excuse me. A lot of the power has been taken away from games reviewers and the media at large, and sort of given back to fans who were, streaming games that didn't get a whole lot of coverage, or talking about games that haven't gotten a whole lot of coverage, or even making their own thing on Twitch, like Twitch plays Dark Souls or Twitch plays Pokemon. Like, I feel like that has been one of the innovations that's come out of the last couple.
Yeah, but that's not a really innovation in game development.
Isn't. But it has come to home consoles, and that is a new thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not really game development, though. It's certainly an innovation, but it's more towards the consumer end of things.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Than actual development.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he is.
I just wanted to point it out.
Okay.
Well, but the innovation of the AAA level has everything to do with. We've talked about it so many times in this show. Is that the risks are so high now that it's ridiculous. You don't want to take a chance because you're going to lose your shirt if you do. If you take a chance and it doesn't hit, right? Whereas you've got tons of metrics to tell you that, like, our Call of Duty game last year sold this, the year before it sold that, and even if it's on a slightly downward trend, the numbers are so astronomical that it just makes sense to take a proven formula, adjust it a little bit, and push it out the door. And that's trivializing AAA development. Obviously, it's harder than that, but that to me, that's the reason why there's a lack of innovation. Now, maybe at the indie level, like I said, making tech more gender balanced would only help, because different perspectives are different perspectives, and that's where innovation comes from.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of started happening last gen too, but where indies were making waves and getting pretty good sales with titles that never would have been a blip on people's radar before, like indie. Besides Minecraft and things, you have games like Undertale, that is striking a chord with people. You have that Her Story game, which is taking FMV and making like an interesting narrative. Like, you do have indies doing some pretty amazing things.
Well, exactly, yeah. That's just it. Although I do find now too that it feels like the indie market has become saturated.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
It seems so hard to stand out now.
That's so true.
Compared to what it once was. And I was reading an article in Kama Sutra about that recently, a post-mortem basically from a guy who's said when we started our game, it was like, get on Steam. Steam's where you go, and but then about halfway through development, he said, well, now you got to get on Xbox Live. Like, that's where you have to go, Xbox Live, because you get featured for a week, and blah blah blah. And then by the time the game was done, all that was gone, and you just it's nothing to see multiple releases every day. You just if you don't hit the second you go online, you're buried.
Yeah.
So we kind of got off on a tangent there. But anyway, interesting thought. I don't totally agree with her, but also don't totally disagree with her. But the thing that I thought, the thing I think CJ wants to talk about, it's a new Kickstarter.
Oh,
Friday the 13th, the game. And I can only assume this is an HD remake of the classic NES game.
Speaking of.
No, it is not.
So then what's the point?
Exactly. So this is kind of interesting. So actually it was a game originally called Summer Camp.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And they had a Kickstarter before for Summer Camp.
Was it a Kickstarter as well? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the same Kickstarter then, or is this relaunch? Is it like a completely new?
This is an additional Kickstarter.
That's interesting.
So,
I think.
Was the original Kickstarter successful?
Yes.
Okay, so now what are they just adding the license? Are they trying to buy the license, or what's the?
No, they were. I don't know if they've. I don't know what they paid for the license or if they paid for the license, but it sounded like they were approached about the license. They were given it.
They were given the license to make the game. Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, yeah. So they said that they had announced Summer Camp, and were creating and testing an internal prototype. And after they'd announced it, Sean Cunningham, who you guys probably know who that is, I don't.
Director.
There you go. Personally reached out to the team.
Yes. Wow.
About the Friday the 13th license. So it sounds really awesome.
I think I was wrong. I don't think they did a Kickstarter for Summer Camp, but they had announced it.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So we like them again. So it sounds really awesome. It's a 1 versus 7 multiplayer game, which isn't a totally new idea, obviously, but absolutely fits this type of thing. So one person can play as Jason, and the other 7 play as semi-naked campers, summer campers.
Different archetypes,
right, which range from, where's this image? This is great, girl next door, to the jock, to the edgy guy. So, and the whole idea is to survive. Unless you're Jason, then you just want to go around putting axes in everybody's heads.
Yeah.
But it sounds really cool, and so they're not going with a publisher. They say they're not going with a publisher, although we've heard that before in Kickstarters.
Right.
But I love the reason. There's actually part of their Kickstarter page says they're not partnering with a publisher because fans of the Friday the 13th film series know that when it comes to Jason Voorhees, violence, gore, and nudity aren't just concepts to consider, they're necessities. So we want to make sure that this game delivers that same kind of fun, brutal scares, and creative kills. Don't want to risk having to tell our story with a T for teen rating.
Well,
which I agree with.
Yeah.
Having a publisher doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get censored. I mean,
well, that's just it. I mean, that's sort of an archaic argument against the publisher system.
Publishers don't really put out M-rated games ever.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't put out bloody games at all.
No. Yeah. I've never seen any nudity in a.
No violence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember when nudity was like the bonus add-on for pre-ordering? What game was that? It was from EA.
Saboteur.
Oh, right.
Your home base was in a brothel, and if you paid the extra money or pre-ordered it, it was in a brothel full of half-naked women.
And see, that's the innovation that they're talking about.
Right.
This is not what you're getting with your HD remakes. You need innovation like that.
But anyway, it sounds pretty effing cool.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, I love the idea of a
pitch video is great too.
Happening. I have not watched the pitch video yet, and they haven't revealed their stretch goals yet.
All right.
No, they're doing it, one by one.
Yeah, but the image has a bloody machete, so that's cool.
Apparently, there is one of the things they mentioned in their video is single-player content is one of the stretch goals.
See, now that's when I would get more interested. But
yeah,
they're looking for $700,000, which doesn't seem like a lot.
No. Although they were already maybe halfway through development.
The fourth stretch goal down says single-player survival challenge mode.
Okay.
I can read that. I can read that through the blur.
As of this recording, they have 26 days to go, and they're already at 435,000. So it looks like
they'll make it.
They'll get close. So good for them. I'm definitely be following this one. You guys backers? Are you gonna back?
I might back this.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll back it, but I will play it when it comes out.
Yeah, I think if it looks like it's already gonna make it, I probably just wait till it comes out and
Depends what the other stretch goals are for me.
for $10,000 you can be in the game.
I'm not going to do that.
You don't want to be recreated as an 80s style camp counselor?
No.
Oh man, but
not
you'll
that
get
much.
to have 80s style virtual sex with some kind of... I mean, if you don't want to live, because you remember in those movies, obviously.
Right.
All those movies were a big, gory warning against having premarital sex. That's all they ever were.
It's true.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sort of. Why not? So, more interesting news. Potentially, a Zelda Twilight Princess HD icon was apparently found.
Yeah, and the Wii U.
Call me when there's innovation.
Wii U metadata or like the release list, and they found a reference to Zelda Twilight Princess HD, and they found an icon as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's more exciting than that game ever was.
I liked Twilight Princess. Come on.
So has this been debunked at this point, or
it has not been debunked?
No.
No.
There's
nothing. No. No comment from Nintendo, and
which there never would be until they announced it.
No.
But I played that game for about 12 hours and didn't get through the tutorial mode yet, so I was.
I think I got like 3/4 of the way through the game and didn't end up finishing it.
Clearly,
I liked it.
Man,
I did.
I didn't.
Zelda games tend to go through this weird period, right, where like at the beginning, some people are very loud about how much they hate it, or it's not like the old Zelda that they wanted, and later on down the line it comes full circle and people love it again. So I mean, we'll see what happens. This one I don't think has gone all the way around to people liking it.
Well, see, I constantly I sort of question myself on it because like Twilight Princess was a weird Zelda game, and it came out at a strange time because obviously it was expected to be a GameCube game, which there was a GameCube release, but
yeah,
I had moved on to the Wii at that point. So it was the first Zelda game with Wii controls. They weren't that great.
No.
Plus, you know, it was at the same time as the 360 and the PS3 were around. So we were playing games that looked better from a technical standpoint. So it was kind of a little more difficult to get excited about Twilight Princess. And that being said, I'm like, I probably played through about 2/3 of it.
But if you'll remember, I mean, people hated on Wind Waker because it wasn't the realistic Zelda that they wanted. That's Twilight Princess was the realistic Zelda that people wanted.
That's exactly the point I'm making. Is that
it was just a boring realistic Zelda.
Well, that's just the thing. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if the reason that I put it down was because I just got bored with it, or because I was just too irritated with the controls, or more enamored with the pretty shiny games on the PS3 and the 360.
Well, if they do a remake on Wii U, maybe you'll get to use the classic controller or the gamepad, and
it would make sense.
Control it that way. So this Twilight Princess HD remake. This is pretty much. This is what Nintendo is going to be dumping on the Wii U because the next real Zelda game is being pushed back to an NX.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
I would say that's exactly it.
Yeah.
This is you still get Zelda.
Yep. This is to placate Wii U owners.
Yep.
So
probably.
That's most likely it.
I guess we'll find out whenever they do another Nintendo Direct. You know, there has not been a Nintendo Direct since E3.
I think is there one tomorrow?
I think somebody tried to put that off as a rumor, but I don't think I saw anything official about that. I might be wrong.
I can't be bothered to find out. Even more importantly, Duke Nukem 3D is available for the Mega Drive very soon.
Holy crap!
It was available in Brazil for a long time, but you know.
What? What's this?
Duke Nukem 3D for the Genesis. It's coming out soon.
Oh.
What?
On cartridge.
By the way, do you remember?
Tell me more about this.
I think did you somebody tweeted a picture, or you tweeted a picture of like a redesigned Genesis console that had a different. It's not the Genesis 3. It's like something different. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that one that's just about the size of a cartridge.
Yeah, I saw it at Toys R Us.
Yeah, it's not a weird thing. It's just one of those. No. It's just one of those console clones.
I thought it was like a new thing.
No.
Oh well. Yeah.
I mean, it's new compared to a Genesis 3.
Okay. But yeah. But it's not new.
Hold on, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, let's back up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did a little Google search, and apparently there was a
tech toy in Brazil.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem 3D on the Mega Drive.
In 1998.
Yes, because Tectoy was actually releasing games for the Mega Drive into the 2000s.
That's crazy. So yeah, because
and by the way, watch the upcoming episode of Generation 16. You know more about this.
Okay.
Yes.
Sega systems tend to be pretty big in Brazil. The Master System. The Master System was big in Brazil, and the Mega Drive also the case, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was all done through a company called Tectoy. Anyway, that was one of the last games they released. I think it's the. I don't think it was the last game they released, but it was one of the last games they released. And there's a company, I can't think of the name of it right now, that is releasing a physical version of it for other regions, and that's happening very soon.
Where's
now that the license is super cheap?
Where's this at again?
Where is it at?
Yeah, where can you buy this?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I just saw it pop up on my Twitter feed as we were talking about it, and I can't find the tweet again.
So
we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we will.
So is it any good?
No, it's awful.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Now, is it awful for a Genesis game, or is it just awful compared to like a PC version?
It's terrible.
Really? Okay.
It's just, I mean, if you'd seen it in 1998, I'm sure it would have been quite impressive.
Okay.
You know, but I feel like it's not even as good as something like, and this is, forgive me if I'm wrong about this for anybody who's played this stuff more recently than me, but like there was a game called Zero Tolerance.
Yeah.
Which was a first-person shooter, and I would say that was probably better.
Okay.
Than this.
PicoInteractive.com.
Pico Interactive. That's it.
Pico with a K.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's available now.
Maybe it is. $55 US.
Yep. $40 for cartridge.
I will not be ordering that.
Really?
Nah.
I'm kind of surprised.
No, I'm not.
Not until you get to it in Generation 16. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it'll be like 60 years before I get there anyway. I'm not too interested in collecting for the sake of collecting Genesis stuff. Well, I shouldn't say that. Genesis hardware, I kind of am. But Genesis games, not so much. I mean, I have bought some of the more, like some of the fan stuff. Like, there's a couple RPGs because I do want to play them.
Mm-hmm.
But I've played, the ROM's been around forever, obviously. Okay. So I have tried it. It's not very good. It's just an oddity. It'd be something to have, obviously, for your collection. But I'm not spending, like, $60 American is not...
Right.
It's not cheap. So I'm not doing it. But it's very cool that it's happening.
It's only one of the episodes, too.
Yeah.
Because the original Duke Nukem 3D was comprised of 3 episodes with multiple levels, and this is only the second episode.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer.
So, it happens.
Yeah.
But again, cool to have if you're sort of a Genesis nut and you're into collecting. Yeah, really awesome. But I'm not going to do it. So yeah, that's a thing. Going back to Nintendo, because CJ picked all the news stories this week.
That's right.
Big Nintendo maintenance
Nintendo corner
thing happening. So your network ID, a lot of the network ID stuff's going to be down for a chunk of time next week, and there's
this week, and
the feeling is that this might be the beginning of the launch of whatever the Club Nintendo replacement is.
That's right.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Because even the Wii is down this week. Like they're basically bringing everything down.
And then put it on there.
Maybe they're going to give us a universal account system.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice, I'd say.
I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah. Yeah. The other piece of news with that is that there have been comments recently that their first mobile game is going to hit soon.
Ah, yes.
Right. So Nintendo has been doing that new loyalty program with DNA, who's spearheading at least the back end of Nintendo's mobile titles. So, uh, you know, this could all be intertwined
Right.
with that.
That makes sense.
And the comment from, I think, two people on Twitter now who may have knowledge of what Nintendo's mobile plans are have said that we'll find out very soon and that it'll be a surprise of some kind. It'll be surprising.
The NX is just an Android phone. Actually, would be, I don't know. I don't think it's totally outside of the realm of possibility that the NX is some kind of Android platform.
Well, let's jump into the other news. Because the Wall Street Journal did a report on the NX, and they said that dev kits are going out to third parties, that it's going to release in 2016, that it has, quote, industry-leading chips.
Like Doritos? Or
includes, exactly.
Those are the chips of the game industry, you know that.
You are not the first person to make that joke, that funny joke. And that it will include at least some kind of mobile component, either a separate unit or whatever. And the part of this that I find the most interesting is the, quote, industry-leading chips, because that could be interpreted a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Like, industry-leading chips could mean, low power, low energy, low cost. Like,
what
which
industry are they leading?
Is it leading the mobile industry? And then are you talking about like you were saying, like an Android-friendly chip in there,
Right.
Or are you talking about something that could outclass the PS4 and the Xbox One, which I think a lot of people on NeoGAF and the like have sort of glommed onto. Like, yes, that's what it means. It means that this machine is going to be all powerful, and it's going to wipe away the PS4, the Xbox One, and you look at Nintendo historically and read industry-leading chips, and that's just not the impression that I would necessarily get immediately from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be. It's interesting because I don't know. I'm in the camp of I kind of hope that's what it means, but
sure.
Yeah, with Iwata gone now. I mean, all this stuff was happening way before he died, though, so I'm guessing there wasn't any kind of major revamp of it. But
Nintendo,
we might be in for a cycle again because you look at historically, yes, that's not what they do, but then if you go back sort of the previous 2 or 3 systems, that was what they did, right? Like you look at the Wii and the Wii U. Yes, they didn't get into a horsepower race, but then you look at the N64 and the Super Nintendo, they absolutely did. So, is it time to go back to that cycle again? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might be a thing. Probably not, but it might be.
Could be interesting. I'm interested to see if that thing, whatever form the NX takes, is it going to be backwards compatible with Wii U and 3DS?
I hope so.
I really hope so, too, because I bought a lot of digital games, and it would be great to bring those forward.
Of the 3, Nintendo has the best track record for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Let's move into what you've been playing.
Let's do it.
I'm interested to hear because I downloaded the Zelda Triforce Heroes demo, but I haven't been able to play it.
Well, now you pretty much can't unless you have 3 friends. So
I don't have 3 friends. I mean.
Enjoy that useless piece of software on your 3DS.
There are a few of those.
So yeah, Nintendo got Triforce Heroes demo, and they opened up 5-hour-long windows on Friday, Saturday, Sunday this past weekend for people to play it, and I played it on Friday night, and I had a lot of fun with it. The demo comprised 3 different areas. And you could only play with randoms, no friends or anything. In the demo, you will be able to do that in the game that comes out on Friday this week. And I had a lot of fun with it. You have these little quick chat icons at the bottom of the screen that you can tap on to try to tell your fellow players what to do if they're maybe not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
They have this this totem mechanic where you pick up another player and the other player picks up you, and you have a three link stack, and you hit various switches and stuff with that. So it's good.
It's 4 swords.
It's like 4 swords, exactly. Although I never really got to play a lot of 4 swords because you had to do couch co-op in that game. This one you can play with random people over the internet or your friends, or you can play it single player too. But you have to control all 3 links to some extent.
Yeah, I wish that was in the demo.
Yeah.
That seems so. I'm curious how that's going to work, and I kind of want to spend the money.
Sounds like it's not going to work very well.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
So.
Like, I'd love to know. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to playing it online with friends and randoms, actually, because your team has like 1 health bar, so it's not going to pay for people to grief you. Like, they're just really wasting their own time at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And the levels aren't so long that you can't back out and start over. And you can actually blacklist players that you don't want to be matched up with again.
Nice.
Like as well.
Like if they're communists.
Right.
So exactly.
Okay.
So it's I thought it was a lot of fun. But you guys didn't play the demo, so
No.
Not.
Well, I don't remember getting any kind of invite to come play it with you.
Yeah, same here.
You can't play with friends, like I just said in the demo. Like, you had to play.
You know what, CJ? If you were a true friend, you would have found a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing that. I've also been playing a bunch of mobile stuff. You guys
Really?
like mobile games?
I've heard of mobile games. Played a few.
Yeah, I've been playing a couple. You hear about that Downwell game?
Is
that
this a commercial? Can we get out of the way now? Like, is this a commercial?
No.
Okay.
Although this week there's a hot new release from Adult Swim Games that you'll want to play. I'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
But I've been playing Soda Dungeon. It's kind of like it's got like a retro 8-bit style for the graphics,
Weird.
and then
haven't seen that before.
No, that's been a while.
It's kind of like a clicker game, and I don't know if you're into like Clicker Heroes or any of those like.
Is that where you literally just click?
Like cookie clicker.
Cookie
clicker, but with better graphics.
Yeah, this is kind of like that, except you sort of do a raid through dungeons, and in between each game, you hire heroes to go into the dungeons with you, and yeah, it's interesting. And I've been playing Space Miner Wars as well. I don't know if you've the Space Miner games on iOS. There have been a couple of them. They're really kind of fun. They're space shooters, like an overhead view. This one, Space Miner Wars, mixes city building in with it too. You get to place factories and stuff like typical mobile things. But in between, there are space battles.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Greg, you might really like this game.
I might try that. Yeah, Space Miner Wars.
Space Miner Wars, yeah, it's free to play. And then I've been playing Max Ammo, which, oh my god, beautiful game.
Max Ammo.
Kind of the worst name, most plain name, and a terrible icon, I think. Anyway, but it's a shooter, and
That's an iOS producer thing to complain about.
Yeah.
Exactly. You do like a lot of tapping and swiping, of course. It's an iOS and Android game, actually. And
so it's an NX game.
It's like an arcade shooter, but it's very very easy to play, and
Is that real arcade feel?
that real arcade.
Palm of your hand.
That's right. So, and I'm playing Downwell, of course. You can, anyone who reads gaming Twitter probably has heard about Downwell a lot.
I haven't even seen video of it.
Devolver Digital is publishing. It's a retro style.
Now, what else has Devolver done?
Hotline Miami. Have you heard about that game?
I have.
Titan Souls.
What have they done for me lately?
I don't know. Downwell.
Ooh, yeah.
There we go.
So it's a twitchy, sort of Spelunky-ish game, I
You
guess,
lost me.
where you have procedural levels and you are going down a well.
Down
Yeah.
well.
That's the name, down well,
I
and
get it.
you have this mechanic where you kind of shoot and kind of hover in the air for a second. So as you're going down, you're trying to shoot enemies and blocks out of the way. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's also available on Steam as well. So
Yeah, I'll
iOS
probably
and
never check
Steam.
that out, but it sounds cool.
Anyway,
Let's,
that's what I've been playing.
Let me see here. I'm loading up. Why are you wasting my time talking about down well and more like down won't when I could be playing on Steam 50% off, $3.99 Garfield Kart.
There's a Garfield kart game on Steam?
Garfield Kart.
Does Bill Murray do the voice, or?
You know what?
Somehow it
I'm guessing probably not, but
The ghost of Lorenzo Music does the voice?
yes, yes. I could be playing Garfield Kart right now. User reviews mostly negative. Well,
I am shocked.
Go figure.
So, Phil,
yeah, it's
right
in my name. I don't
I
have wear it to outs.
I saw that you own everything there is to own for Yoshi's Woolly World.
I do. I'm Yoshi's Woolly World clear.
Overrun by clear. You're overrun by yarn Yoshis. So give us
I have a lot of
the
yarn
rundown.
Yoshi.
How's the game?
You want to know about the game, or you want to know about the little plush amiibos?
Let's do both.
Because they are adorable. They are soft.
They are in big supply around here.
Are they really?
Yeah, I saw like there was some kind of I think it's what Wario64 was mentioning when the pink yarn Yoshi was going on sale on Amazon in such a way that it made it seem like it was going to be hard to get. And I went to like 5 different stores like the day it was released and then that Saturday, and they were everywhere.
Oh wow!
Both colors, blue and pink, and then of course the green one comes with the game, right?
Yes.
So
yes. Yeah, it's. I mean, this is obviously anecdotal evidence, but
as was mine.
on Friday when I went out to see what I could find, because I already had the green Yoshi. I had him imported, so I had him already, but I wanted to get the other two. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You got the blue one.
I did.
Because you are insecure about your gender identity.
And own a pink one.
I
You're
understand.
the reason Rihanna Wu is so upset with the games industry.
I understand.
My favorite colors. Blue.
Well, yeah, well.
What does that mean?
I guess. So, I originally I popped by a Target, and when I went into the Target, they had a whole mess of the pink Yoshis, but they were all sold out of the blue Yoshis.
CJ had already been there.
Yep. So I picked up the pink one. And then I went to a Toys R Us a little later in the day, and they had a mess, heaping helping, of both pink and blue. So I picked up a blue one at that point. Like I said, I already had green imported. And then I was hemming and hawing on actually picking up a copy of Wooly Bully, and I cracked just because of the cuteness.
Oh, you weren't going to buy the game originally.
I was not. I mean, I was going to get the game. I just wasn't necessarily going to get it at launch.
Okay.
Because there's so many games out right now that I still have,
yeah,
totally.
I still have Lego Dimensions I need to finish. I still have Transformers I need to finish.
Yeah.
So I wasn't originally going to get it right away, but I cracked and picked it up, and so I ended up getting that. And boy, I'm glad I did.
Really?
I'm glad I did. Now, to be fair, I've not played that far into it. I've only gone through 2 stages at the moment, and by stages I mean levels. Not like 2 worlds or anything like that. I've only played through 2 levels, but that is a charming little game. It is cute as a boot.
What was the last Yoshi game?
Are you talking console? Are you talking
Console.
console? Ooh, because I mean there was the Yoshi's New Island or whatever it was called for 3DS.
Yeah, I didn't play that, but I seem to remember playing something on the Wii, maybe.
I don't think
There
so.
was.
Really?
Epic Yarn.
You might be confusing it with the Kirby game.
No, I'm not confusing with that because I did play Epic Yarn and Epic Yawn.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Right? Like it just.
See, that's you know
See,
what's terrible is that was one of the reasons why I was kind of putting this on the back burner.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same for me, and it really doesn't make any sense because it's
It makes no
not a
sense at
Kirby
all.
game. But it's like when you start describing it, the first thing you say is it's extremely charming. So was Epic Yarn, and that was what kept me playing for as long as I did until I realized it's like I am so bored.
It's
like I'm bored.
It'll put you to sleep. Epic Yawn. Yeah, it really will.
But Yoshi's Woolly World is not like that.
Well, first of all, I mentioned this I think on Twitter a day or so ago. This game has been available in Japan and Europe for a few months now.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason this game got artificially delayed for a North American release. But I was kind of going out of my way to avoid any real details about it, just because I knew I would end up getting it just because it looked so darn nice and it looked so adorable and everything. But I didn't really want to. I think what I wanted to avoid was finding out that it was as boring as Epic Yarn. So, it's very much patterned after Yoshi's Island.
Okay.
Which is, in my opinion, the best 2D platformer ever made. I absolutely adore Yoshi's Island, and to find out that this shares a lot of the same mechanics with that was a nice surprise to me, and obviously a welcome one, and even to the point where there are a handful of flowers per stage where you need to collect, and you're collecting the stars that in this case act as your health in the game. You obviously don't have the little baby Mario mechanic to deal with, and instead you're collecting the star. Well, I mean, the stars serve the same purpose.
But they don't cry when you get hit?
Yeah, you don't have the little...
Thank God.
Yeah, it's just if you run out of stars, you lose your life, but...
Then Nemesis shows up?
Yeah, bursts through.
Stars! Yoshi! Nice.
Yeah. So... I'm obviously too early into the game to say if it's as good as Yoshi's Island. I'm guessing it won't be, because
it's a pretty high bar to.
Yeah, it's kind of almost an unfair bar to throw at the game. But the couple of I've played so far seem pretty cool. There is a nice little mechanic using the sort of yarn aesthetic, where as you go through the stage, you will occasionally see bits of the background that have loose threads sticking out, and if you shoot the loose thread with your tongue, you will unravel a section of the wall, exposing different areas to go to. Instead of pooping out eggs, you are pooping out yarn balls.
But you're still pooping.
You are still pooping. I mean, you eat a Shy Guy. And the Shy Guys are made out of yarn, so when you eat a Shy Guy, you digest him and poop out a little ball of yarn.
Okay.
So there will be areas where you'll see like an outline of something, and if you throw a yarn ball at it, it will turn into a knitted platform that you can jump on, that sort of thing.
But who's knitting the platforms?
God. I mean, it's really weird. This game goes like really out of its way to promote itself as a highly Christian game. Really talking about how the world is created by our benevolent Lord and Savior, and his
yarn ball,
his holy knitting needles.
So how do what's the amiibo functionality? What do the amiibo do for it?
The amiibos look adorable when they are sitting on your shelf.
Really, is that all they do?
Yeah, well, you know what's terrible is they do have a function, and I tried it out last night, and thought, well, I'm never going to use this again.
And thought, well, I have 3 of these things.
Well, it's a good thing they're so cute,
Mm-hmm.
is my point. The game has a co-op mode,
Mm-hmm.
which, like every other Mario game, Mario Universe game, a platformer that has a co-op mode, it seems like the co-op mode is just kind of thrown in there to say that they have a co-op mode without necessarily thinking about the logistics, and is it actually fun to play when you have maybe 4 people running around bumping into each other, bouncing off each other's heads, knocking each other, pushing each other over cliffs and things like that?
Not so much.
Not as much. Yeah, this has the multiplayer component as well. You can swallow the other player and poop them out as an egg. You can bounce off each other's heads. You can block each other's jumps. All those sorts of things that may have sounded a little, but CJ's just slipping away. I'm just watching the video of CJ just slowly sliding out of frame. And there he is. He's back again. So he had something more important to do. But
right here.
Okay, just saying. It seems like it would be fun on paper, maybe, but once you actually have that practice of players bumping into each other, it's not as fun anymore. And what happens with the amiibos, if you are playing single player and you scan an amiibo in, is it brings in an AI character.
Interesting.
A second player AI who follows you around and basically mirrors your movements, which makes it kind of confusing to play because you don't really know which of the 2 Yoshis you're controlling at that point. And you think, okay, well, if I started off as the green Yoshi and I brought in the pink Yoshi, so therefore the pink Yoshi is going to be the computer-controlled player, but if the green Yoshi, I accidentally wander him off into a pit or something, then it's suddenly like I'm controlling the pink Yoshi. And then green Yoshi appears in an egg who follows me around and stuff like that. And that's
weird.
And again, you have this other character sort of being controlled by the AI who's getting in your way and sort of blocking your jumps. And
so you've pretty much unsold me on the game.
Well, if you play it single player, it's fine. You don't have those problems. As long as you don't try to play it multiplayer, or if you don't scan in an amiibo while you play, you are left with a what is so far a very solid platformer.
Okay.
So it's
like $75 up here, and I'm just not. I had it in my hand. I was like,
can't you buy it without the amiibo?
I have no idea. I only saw it with.
You can here.
Okay. I mean, I didn't look that hard, so.
I mean, like I said, I had imported the green Yoshi amiibo, so I did not have any reason to buy the bundle pack.
Isn't there a really big one as well? A really big.
There's a very big one coming out. At least here, it's going to be a Toys R Us exclusive.
Okay. And so, I want to move off on this so we can cover some more games. But so the amiibo itself is just a plushie with like an NFC base sewed into its butt, or what? Like, is that?
Yes. It's actually sewed right into his butt.
And a Nintendo logo.
Yep, right there.
Right there.
There you go. Okay, so it's not on a stand of any kind. It is literally just a little plushie.
Yeah. The giant Yoshi amiibo, I believe it's sewed into one of his feet. I will probably end up getting the giant Yoshi amiibo as well, just because he's so damn cute.
So I also see Minecraft Story Mode on your list.
Yes, I did. Of course, you know that I love Minecraft, and I enjoy Telltale Games stuff, and I was obviously very curious about this.
So was there a season pass available, or?
There is a season pass. $25. Yes, I did.
Okay.
So
we're playing episode 5 like 2 years from now.
Yes. Well, and we've had this discussion on the show before about Minecraft or not Minecraft, but of Telltale Games and their season passes, and how you really should not dive into those right away because you will be able to pick them up for half price, if not cheaper, before the entire series is out. But because it is Minecraft, and I am a fan of that, I don't want to say
fair.
series. It's a game. But yeah, I wanted to play this one as soon as I could. And the voice cast really kind of pushed me into wanting to.
Excellent.
It's you got Patton Oswalt as the main character. You got Brian Posehn, the ever fantastic Brian Posehn as one of your party members. Martha Plimpton for your Goonie fans out there. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, Ashley Johnson, everyone's favorite post-apocalyptic teenage girl. Yeah. Ashley Johnson is in the game, so really solid voice cast.
What I was really sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, and I see you played it. Did you play it?
I didn't really. I've seen it played, and
okay. Did you watch? You just watched on the YouTube?
Well, I came home from work. I can tell the story. I came home from work one day, and my two older kids were sitting there. Holden had the Xbox controller in his hand, but when he watches YouTube with the Xbox, he keeps the controller in his hand for some reason. Okay. So I kind of looked up, and I didn't really pay close attention. I saw that Minecraft was on the screen. He's like, okay, we have Minecraft on the Xbox One, so whatever. And I got my daughter to go. I went to help her with her homework, not thinking anything of it. So I come back out to the living room at one point, and I walk by the TV, and Holden's still sitting there with the controller in his hand, and the characters were speaking. I was like, wait a minute. There's no dialogue in Minecraft. Not spoken dialogue, at the very least. Yeah. In my mind, it's like, well, they watch a lot of YouTube videos about Minecraft, and some people tend to, sort of do little
voice the
stories
characters
and voice characters and things like that. So again, it didn't really register. So I looked at him and said, "Oh, is this a new video? Did you find somebody new that you're watching on YouTube?" He goes, "No, it's Minecraft." And I was like, "Well, but it's not Minecraft." Like,
I don't understand what you mean.
And I knew that the game had come out that day, and then it dawns on me, and I'm like, ah. So I kind of looked at him, and I was like, "Where'd you get it?" He said, "Well, I just clicked on it. I pressed A, and I clicked on it, and I said, and did it cost anything?" And that was when, and if you're watching the video, you'll see this, the shoulders hunched, the head went down, pulled it in on himself, in the smallest voice you heard, "I'm sorry, Daddy."
Oh, no.
This is when this story ends with you putting a passcode on your account.
I did not intend. I did not intend to own Minecraft Story Mode.
Well, now you do.
Luckily, I only own the first episode. But yeah, so that anyway, I got him to tell me how much it cost, and he went to his piggy bank and paid me back. And we both learned something that night. My credit card information is no longer stored on my Xbox One, and he knows better than to buy something without asking first.
Oh my goodness.
So, but what I was impressed by, I have let him continue to play it because he paid me for it and he apologized and he's learned his lesson. I hope. It runs really well for a Telltale game.
Yeah, it's got glitches.
It's not glitchy as hell, which
it's got some glitches though.
Does it really? I haven't seen them.
I watched a couple of videos and there was some background glitchiness.
I played through the PS4 version glitch-free.
Okay.
And
he's been playing the Xbox One version, and I mean, I haven't sat and watched the entire thing, but I haven't seen I haven't seen the issues I expect to see.
Right.
In the Telltale game.
Yeah. I mean, the graphics were a little blocking. The textures were not really high res, but.
Speaking of that, that was like the same night he broke my heart because I was testing some Sega CD games I bought, and he goes, "Are those going to be pixelated games?" And I said, "Yeah, buddy, they're old games. I don't like pixelated games." I have no son.
Get out.
But I kept playing them anyway.
It was interesting. I am a teacher, as you know. I teach third grade, which is prime prime Minecraft age.
Yes, it is.
A bunch of 8-year-olds. They love the Minecraft. Bunch of the kids in the class very excited about story mode, and of course they know that Mr. Theobald is the teacher who likes video games as well and actually likes Minecraft, so they can occasionally chat with me a little bit about that. Sometimes during our spelling test and I'm making up sentences, I will make up a Minecraft related sentence, which they love. Let me tell you. But yeah, one of the kids was talking to me about story mode, and he was very excited because his birthday's coming up, and he's going to get it for his birthday. And I'm talking to this kid, and again he's 8, he's going to be 9. He has no idea what a graphic adventure game is.
Well,
He
yeah.
has absolutely no frame of reference for it. And he's talking to me about it, and he's asking me questions about Minecraft story mode, and this was during recess. This was not during, math or anything.
This is... Oh, Mr. Fieldball, I didn't finish the quiz. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Did you guys hear about this Minecraft game coming out? Man, let me show you guys these.
Youth.
Let me show you these Yoshi amiibos I picked up while I was out at lunch. But so he's asking me about it, and he's just like, when are you going to get Minecraft story mode? Yes, I definitely am. What skin are you going to use a skin to play as? It's like, well, there's not really skins. You can't really reskin your character. I mean, you can choose if you want to be a male or a female, and there are a couple different.
Well, those weird because they're both Patton Oswalt.
Actually, I forget the voice actor's name who does the female. Jessie is the main character's name, but I know she was the voice actor for Padme Amidala on the Clone Wars TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget her name though, but they're used to playing Minecraft where you can use custom skins and stuff like that, and I'm trying to explain, you can't really. Can't really do that, and it's like, okay, well, so do you build your own houses and stuff like that in this game? And I'm just like, well, no, it's not really. You're thinking of Minecraft. This is more of an adventure type game. Oh, like Zelda? It's like, well, no. Did you ever play Day of the Tentacle? But that doesn't really.
Day of the Tentacle, he asked the 8-year-old.
That doesn't really. That means nothing to him. I'm trying to, Did you ever play King's Quest or, that?
Defender of the Crown.
Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry. You played Leisure Suit Larry.
You had to have played. Well, yeah, I did, but only Magnum Cum Laude. And it's like, well, that's not.
Get out of my class.
That's not really the kind. Yeah, that's not the one we're talking about. No, so I'm trying to explain the concept of a graphic adventure game to an 8-year-old, and it's sort of like they're like, does the game have a bunch of cutscenes in it? And I was like, you know what, it's kind of all a cutscene. It's like
so
you're
basically
playing
you ruined
through...
his birthday, is what you're saying.
I did.
You know what though? I would be really interested. I'm sure all the game reviewers that reviewed it, they don't have that problem, right? So it would be interesting from the perspective of someone who has never played a graphic adventure game, doesn't even know what they are, but loves Minecraft.
Yeah.
What
would
would they think?
You're basically asking for, well, you know what? Give me next week. I'll be able to tell you.
Okay.
I can give you a 9-year-old kid's opinion on. Well, you know what though, and this is the part that killed me, was like the next day he comes in and he starts talking to me about story mode again. And this was like the day after it came out. And he came in and suddenly he understood, and he was like, "Oh, it is the game. It's like one long cutscene that you kind of have control over." And I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much it." And I was
play
like,
Walking Dead.
Well, you know what's terrible is he. I was like, "Oh, did you read something about it?" And he's like, "Oh no, I was watching a Let's Play on YouTube."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well,
but now you know."
And I was like, that's totally. I was like, that's fantastic for Minecraft,
right.
Because Minecraft, you can do anything in Minecraft, and you could watch a million Let's Plays, and they'd all be different, from what you play. But it's just like, so you've just played through the entire. You just ruined the game for yourself because that's
At that age, though, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get it this weekend and he's gonna flip out and love it.
Yep.
And I was talking with my wife about this game because she works at a mobile game developer in the city, and some of her coworkers were talking about this game, and a lot of the coworkers they were kind of making fun of the game, just making fun of the concept of the game. Just because it's like, oh, it's Minecraft, it's not supposed to have a story and that sort of thing, and I had to explain to her because she doesn't follow YouTube Minecraft players, and why should she? She's an adult. But that whole concept of taking this empty world where you are free to do and go wherever and do whatever you want, and then sort of crafting a narrative around it. That's something that's really popular on YouTube.
Huge.
I mean, yeah, you go to stores and you can find all sorts of unauthorized Minecraft chapter books that are written for second and third graders. And yeah, there are tons of people who are making livings by creating their own Minecraft characters within the engine and having them go on.
That's interesting because, like, that the people you're talking about would be making fun of it because to me it also seems like it's the perfect gateway game. For younger players who don't know what a graphic adventure is, like exactly what you said. I mean, my son would not interested in that stuff.
Right.
But this is a Minecraft, and he's sitting there and he's playing it, and he's making decisions, and he's listening to the story, and it's like it's opening it's opening up his eyes to like a broader scope of games.
Well, he's probably asking for Walking Dead now, right?
Well, yeah, and I already own it, so that's great. I just say, go, buddy.
Have fun.
I mean, I would think that especially the type of developers you're talking about, because I believe they make story-based games. It's like, well, this is great. It potentially expands the audience for this genre.
Yeah. Well, they're guys in their early 20s. They're not really thinking.
Oh, right. I knew everything then too.
Yeah, exactly. You're not thinking big picture. You're certainly not thinking about what's going on in the minds of kids.
Right.
Who are clearly Minecraft's audience.
Yeah.
So
the game's good though. It seems.
Yeah. Yeah. I played through the first episode. Like typical
2 hours,
2-3 hours. I kind of want to. I'm gonna hold off and play through the whole story when it comes out, just with the choices I make. But it seems like even in this first chapter, you can start making some choices that really affect like the outcome of the game further down the road, like kind of sort of like kicking people out of your party, or they're very similar to Walking Dead. There's a decision in this game where you have two people who are in trouble and you have to save one of them. And that seems like it might make a fairly significant difference if they follow through with it. And there's a part where you have two locations where you can choose to go, and you have to decide which one you're going to go to, and depending on which one you go to, it changes which one of your characters comes with you and one stays behind, and that sort of thing. So
I mean, I would think that you would be seeing that stuff because they've got that formula pretty much down at this point.
Right. So I'm wondering if maybe they even went. Well, what was it, like the first Walking Dead season? It seemed where you had a lot of those types of choices, but no matter what you chose, it sort of cycled you back around to sort of status quo.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. What was it? Was the first episode, I think, when you had to choose to save Duck or the other guy. Do you remember that in Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was right at the beginning.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the game, and even you choose to save Duck, and that's okay. You save the kid, so you're a good guy. But even if you chose to save the adult, the way the storyline kind of works out is that
he still dies.
He still dies. The kid still lives, but now people are kind of upset with you for a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just pure speculation, but it seems like the way this game is set up is that some of those choices, instead of cycling you back around to where you would be regardless, it seems like it might actually make a more of an impact this time on the story, which I think would be a good way to do it. Just because again, this game skews younger, and I think kids are more prone to replay something like this over and over again.
Yeah.
Than an adult would be with Walking Dead. So hopefully they did make it in such a way that it sort of lends itself to repeated playthroughs with different outcomes.
And now we'll have someone to talk about it of every new episode.
There you go.
Because I certainly doubt I'll be buying them. And I know Holden won't be.
Now he just has to learn to get into Daddy's wallet. There's that extra step.
No. So I rebuilt a Sega CD this week.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So it was a G1 Sega CD?
Yeah, so I got a I have a G1 and a Model 1 Genesis as well. But the Sega CD wasn't reading discs at all. It worked, but it wasn't reading discs. It powered on, but it wasn't reading anything. And the Genesis itself had some sound issues. The left sound channel was really messed up. So I had mentioned that to a buddy of mine, Ryan, in Ontario, and he messaged me one night. He's like, I found something. I need your answer right away, though. And it's like, he showed me this, I think it was a Kijiji ad, where it was Model 1 Genesis, Model 1 Sega CD, in great shape, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games.
12.
All with cases in good shape for $200 Canadian.
Wow. Okay.
Good price. So I said yes, pulled the trigger on it, and he sent it to me, and I opened it up, tried to turn it on, and absolutely nothing worked.
Ooh.
So anyway, after a lot of trial and error, I figured out that it was just the Sega CD. It was shorting. It was shorting when I was trying to turn it on. So
I don't see any problem with that.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'll open this up and see. I mean, I don't know anything about electronics, but I'll open it up and see if there's anything I can figure out. Plus, maybe at the very least, I can just swap the disk drives. And I go to turn it. I turn the thing over to open it up, and when I do, I hear about 12 things fall.
Oh,
inside the case.
Oh,
can't be good. So I unscrew it. First thing I saw was there was a new fuse that had been soldered on, which apparently is not all that uncommon. But then there was a ton of other stuff. It looked like basically it had been taken apart and somebody tried to repair it, and it just gotten in so deep that they couldn't fix it. That they just decided to unload it instead, because the disk drive itself wasn't even connected to anything. It was just floating in the case. So, and there's broken hinges. There was a bunch of screws missing. One of the heat sinks was missing. The system connector wasn't even really connected to anything. It was a mess. It took me about 2 hours, but I did manage to get the disk drive out of it and replace it, or put it into my old system as a replacement, and it works. So I do have a working disk system now.
Nice.
So cool. And even, honestly, even if the thing didn't work, for the system, which is in fine shape, and the games, $200 was still a steal. And the games all work. They're all in great shape. So really, that's not what I've been playing this week. But played a lot more Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm not going to talk too much about that, except to say that it's still right at the top of my list for Game of the Year so far.
Wow.
And I finally cracked open NHL 16, which the people who listen to this podcast probably aren't crazy interested about, but I'm still terrible at that game. If I play on Pro, it's too hard. If I play on Rookie, it's way too easy. But I do like some of the changes they made. So they one of the nice things that they added this year is an on-ice tutorial setting where, as you're playing, as opposed to the player's name coming up overhead, it actually comes up with suggestions about like when to take a shot and what the controls are for that move, like if you want to do a stick deke or something like that. And you can turn on a bunch of other settings, like if you're going to go offside, which apparently is a rule that a lot of people who don't know hockey all that well get really confused over, which boggles my mind. The offside, the offensive zone will actually flash to let you know you don't want to enter that just yet. You want to wait for your players to come back out. It also helps you with aiming and tells you kind of where in the net the goalie's not really covering if you're about to take a shot. So there's some really nice concessions made to people who aren't necessarily A, crazy hockey fans, and B, people who have been playing this game for 10 years or more. Because I mean that's kind of where sports games tend to go. Is like as they get refined for the hardcore audience, and kind of leave the newbies behind. And this mode is actually, I really like what they've done with it, where they've opened it up and made it a lot more rookie friendly. So, but I'm still terrible at the game. But I get to play as my Halifax Mooseheads, so that's nice. Yeah. Otherwise, that's really all I've been playing this week. So we should tweets. I think it's time for tweets.
We got some time.
Do you want to do another clap before you do tweets?
No.
Okay. Screw you then. Let's jump in. Hacker Alias Does Machines says it's nearing that time of year for spooky games. Anybody else picking up Fatal Frame for the Wii U on 10/22? Anybody getting?
No.
No?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm still playing Until Dawn, and
I
that's my spooky game for this year, and it is a great game. I never really got into the Fatal Frame series, so I honestly haven't been paying attention to coverage of this new one. But
it's great that series is still going.
Yeah,
it's a good series.
It is, yeah.
But no, I haven't. I'm not planning on picking it up either. Wii U was so last year. All my Nintendo games are on Android platforms now.
Oh boy.
Hacker Alias Fork the Fool, in honor of the Force Awakens trailer dropping, yesterday, as of by the time you're probably listening to this. What is your favorite Star Wars game and movie?
Racer is my favorite Star Wars game.
Episode 1 Racer is pretty fantastic.
Ewoks Battle for Endor.
Yep, that's a good movie.
And
not the sequel though. The sequel is just a cash in.
Well,
that was the TV movie you were talking about, right?
Battle for Endor was the sequel.
Was it really? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you remember when those were on TV? And
I do.
Well, obviously you remember when those are on TV, but do you remember that they did like a thing where you can turn on the radio and there was a simulcast?
Yes, I do.
You know what?
It was amazing.
When I was a kid, we had our weekly music video show. This was before MTV and Much Music up here. Every Saturday night they would run a simulcast for music videos. It was so cool. It was like the greatest thing ever.
Nice.
Now I can hear the music in stereo.
Oh, exactly. It's like turn your TV to channel 6 out of the 12 available. Hit the dial. And then turn on C100. Because then the music's in stereo.
I don't remember what station did the simulcast for Battle for Endor.
Up here.
That was
Chicago.
That was actually it was Ewok Adventure was the first one.
Was it okay? I really don't know. I just remember them being a big deal when I was a kid. So.
It was a huge deal. Those things were plugged everywhere. It was a giant deal. I mean, it was, and keep in mind this was
what on DVD? Is that on DVD?
Mm-hmm. It's a 2-pack.
As it should be.
Ewok Adventure. I don't know. They have sort of retroactively titled it Caravan of Courage.
Ugh.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yes. But I mean, back in the day, it was just called an Ewok Adventure.
Yeah.
Or the Ewok Adventure.
And that's exactly what it was.
Yes, it was. And I mean, Ewoks were not the joke they were that they are now.
Did that first movie precede the cartoon?
The Droids
cartoon show?
Ewok cartoon?
There was an Ewok cartoon.
Same year. Both started. Yep. Oh no! Wait. You know what? I lied. Ewok Adventure was November 1984.
My God.
So the year after Jedi. Ewoks Battle for Endor, which was the sequel, and the Ewoks cartoon both started in 85.
Okay.
Crazy.
So there you go. But favorite Star Wars video game?
There's some terrible ones, but some really good ones. I mean, like you got TIE Fighter and X-Wing.
Yep.
Knights of the Old Republic is I would say probably my favorite. But Episode 1 Racer was so good.
Episode 1 Racer is really, really good. What is the GameCube one? Rogue Leader?
Oh my god, yeah, Rogue Squadron 2.
Yeah.
Rogue Leader, that was fantastic as well.
Yeah, Rogue was there was the sequel.
Rogue Squadron 3 was terrible. I forget the name of it.
Rebel Strike.
Rebel Strike.
Yeah, Rebel Strike was. Well, I'm not going to say it's terrible, but it was certainly not as good.
It had a lot to live up to, and it failed to do so.
And it had those really ill-advised on-foot stages.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2 is fantastic. Yeah, you have KOTOR certainly. You have Episode 1 Racer. You know what? I'm gonna be the outlier and say that I actually really enjoyed Force Unleashed.
Yeah, the Dark Forces games were supposed to be quite good too. I've never played any of them.
Yeah, Dark Forces was really good. I'm gonna stress that Force Unleashed was not a perfect game. It had a lot of problems with it, but I actually did have a lot of fun playing through it, despite its many problems. Jeez, what else?
So, well, what's your favorite movie? It's asking what your favorite Star Wars game is. We've gone through a lot of really good ones.
We've got through all of them.
Let's
CJ. Wow.
Man.
Damn.
CJ is a little bitchy all of a sudden. My goodness.
Man, I don't host one week, and Phil just runs roughshod over the whole show.
Man, oh man. Well, I mean, Empire, obviously.
Yeah, Empire. Yes.
We all know Empire's the best.
No-brainer.
Yeah. Empire's the best. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I know people like to crap on Return of the Jedi these days. But
man, back when Return of the Jedi was like, I've always loved that movie. Yeah, Ewoks, whatever. But man, that
well, you know what though?
movie was great.
Back in '83, I friggin' loved the Ewoks.
Yeah,
the Ewoks were like
before the internet told us we shouldn't like it.
Yeah. I had no problem with the Ewoks.
I will say that the Luke Vader Emperor bits in Return of the Jedi are some of the best stuff in the entire saga.
Well, that's just it. They're like, you've got the three storylines going on during that segment, and the Luke, Vader, and Emperor stuff is amazing. And then man, that space battle.
That space battle is outstanding.
Whoa, it's mind-blowing back then.
Yes. Like, no, it's still pretty mind-blowing.
Didn't look that. It's still pretty mind-blowing, and stuff never looked that good back then. Like,
and you know, it's
consider that they did all that with models and everything too. Like, holy crap!
The whole "it's a trap" thing is cliche right now, but when that movie first came out though, and you have that "it's a trap" moment, and then it cuts to the shot of the Death Star with the swarms of TIE fighters coming out of it. It was just that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
And then things like the A-wing that flies into the bridge of the Star Destroyer, and the Star Destroyer crashing into the Death Star. It's like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, man, you're making me want to watch Jedi again.
I know. I might have to watch just that section of it when we're done.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, I mean, I think Jedi gets unfairly crapped on.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good. It's still better than the new three movies, no matter what.
You know what? Here, let's do hard mode. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? Prequels only.
Oof.
Oh man. The third one because it was the least offensive.
Yeah, I would say that the third one's the one that feels most like a Star Wars movie to me.
Yeah, it's hard to pick because the second one was just terrible in every way. The second movie was so bad.
You know what? I'm gonna make an unpopular decision here. I did not find the second one that bad. I actually.
Really? Oh, I thought it was awful.
You know what? I'm gonna go so far as to say, and I'm gonna get so much crap about this. I liked Attack of the Clones. Now,
I didn't.
Now, and a lot of people don't, and a lot of people, when they say, "How come you don't like it?" they bring up the romance scenes, which are horrendous and way more frequent than they should be. But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the little Obi-Wan subplot where he was playing boy detective, going around.
Yeah, but it was stupid. It's like, well, how do you find a star that isn't there? Well, somebody must have deleted it. The little 2-year-old says.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
but
he's right.
I liked him. I liked him hanging out at a '50s diner. I did. I liked the little
In the Camino Galaxy.
It was an American Graffiti nod.
Yeah, whatever.
Easily, but I liked him hanging out at the '50s diner. I liked him going to the water planet. I liked him meeting the cloning aliens. I liked his confrontation with Jango Fett, even if
that was good. It was short.
Yeah. I liked the whole rock planet where the bugs were making the droids. I liked the whole gladiator scene.
See, the thing is like, yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about some of the good parts, and it's just, I don't know. Like I said, the least offensive one to me was the third one, just because it finally seemed like they got to the point where, like the two main characters, like Anakin and Obi-Wan, were at least kind of where they should be.
Right.
Honestly, that's where I expected the first trilogy to really start.
Right. Yeah, no, I know what you mean there. Yeah.
Although it kind of also has some of the worst scenes in it, where it's like you get the climax, and then it's like, okay, now we have this bullet point list of everything that needs to happen so that the next movie makes sense.
Right.
Okay, so go wipe the droids' memories.
Yeah.
The kids have to be born. They have to be given away.
Yeah, we got to kill off
Amidala. And have to get married and get the, it's just, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
I would say, for me, Star Wars Chess and Empire Strikes Back. Let's move on. By the way, if you've never played Star Wars Chess, you should play Star Wars Chess.
Such a sucker. You're just saying that because it's a Sega CD game.
No, I'm not. Although that's true, but it is like, no, go watch a Let's Play of it, because it's so great to see the crazy animations they have of all your favorite Star Wars characters killing each other in very gruesome ways.
That's hilarious.
Like, when you really think about it, just all you see, it's awesome. Go watch it. Don't buy it. Just go watch it. Let's do a couple more here. So, let me find one here.
Let's hear some more of that.
The Real D Vance, Hacker Alias, The Real D Vance. Says, what wrestling games did you play growing up, and do you have any fond or funny memories of them?
I have fond memories of the Amazon versus Starman. That's what I have memories of, if you want to talk wrestling games.
Is that Muscle?
No. How dare you? How dare you? That's Pro Wrestling, Nintendo's first-party Pro Wrestling.
You know what game's great, though? Ultimate Muscle. Yeah, for GameCube.
Ultimate Muscle was good. The NES
I remember you playing that.
That's a good one.
The NES Muscle game is one of the worst games for the NES, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
That's saying a whole lot, actually. But without exaggeration, the NES Muscle is one of the worst games on that system. The real answer,
WCW.
Although, is this question asking, did I play growing up? If by growing up,
well, we're still growing up.
20s.
In my mid-20s, the answer is WWF No Mercy.
Oh, okay, right. I was trying to remember. N64.
N64 No Mercy, and WrestleMania 2000, but and WCW NWO Revenge.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. So
Ukes and the Ukes.
Yep,
games.
all those. So good. So good.
I assume CJ's favorite is whatever one he went to WrestleMania to talk about.
That was WrestleMania X8.
There you go.
But I don't
Actually,
really.
no, wait.
I was in my mid to late 20s at that point.
No. That wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't Ukes.
Really?
Hold on. No. It wasn't Ukes. Ukes was the uh, Aki.
Oh, there you go. That
AKI.
was the other team. Yeah.
Aki. Yeah, Ukes made the ones that sucked.
What?
Okay.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm not so sure about that.
Go double check.
Okay.
You guys can
You
do
can
that after the
double-check.
show. We'll do it as a follow-up next week. We're gonna do.
Aki's the ones they made WCW NWO Revenge. They made WrestleMania 2000. They made WWF No Mercy.
Okay.
They made Def Jam Vendetta. They made Ultimate Muscle.
Okay.
They made Ultimate Muscle for GameCube.
Yeah, that was a great game.
No, Aki is they were the good ones. Made the crap games.
Okay.
So, final tweet. We'll end here with friend of the show and father-to-be, Hacker alias That Sports Gamer,
Now,
who's very, imminent father-to-be. When your first kid was born, how long did you wait before getting back to video games?
well, what happens after the kid is born is the doctor usually hands the kid to the wife. So then you can bust out your Vita or your 3DS right there. And that she's usually too busy cooing
Crying
over the child
yeah.
and crying and stuff. And that gives you a good chance
Recovering.
gives you a chance to pick up where you left off. I mean, presumably you will have just paused your game during the actual procedure, the actual birth.
The nice thing about those systems is they suspend whatever you're playing if you close them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, because labor can take a while.
Right.
Labor takes a while. So right when you sense that moment of truth is coming, you can just close the lid. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Isn't this kid adorable?
Yeah.
Congratulations, honey. I love you.
Yeah. And if you position yourself just right, you could be kind of standing behind her shoulder, maybe holding her hand.
Yeah.
And then you could just have the system in the other hand doing what you need to do.
See,
so.
now all three of our kids were C-section, so I was doing my best just not to pass out.
When you say all three of ours, you mean yours and your wife's, not all three of ours.
Yeah, okay.
In reference, because that sentence could have been interpreted as you were referring to my kid and CJ's kid.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
My daughter was a C-section.
Was she really?
All three of my children were born C-section.
Apparently, my wife is the only one who
she's a champ.
Did it the
hard way,
default way, I guess.
She was on normal mode. We all set ours to easy.
Although, is that really easy? From what I've heard that process.
And the thing was too is our first. She was in labor for like a day before they finally said nope. C-section.
Yikes.
But funny because when I read this, when it came in and I was thinking about it, it's like, yeah, it sounds horrible, but I had my DS.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah, same here.
Hospital.
So did I.
Same here.
I was playing, but like, in fairness to me,
I
didn't play it the day of.
Right.
Throughout
you're sitting in the hotel. You're sitting in the hospital. The hotel.
I was sitting in the waiting room with all the other fathers smoking cigars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I mean during the actual labor period, I never didn't play anything. But I mean, it was a C-section, so my wife was in the hospital for a week.
Right.
And so was the baby because we actually had a bit of a scare. So she was in NICU for a while, and then she was there for observation. So I was sleeping on a cot in the room for a week. So I did have my system there, and I was playing, when they were asleep and things. But so that sounds less terrible when you explain it. But no, I had my DS there, like when the baby was born.
And you know what? I'm gonna throw this defense out. During the process, while she was lying in a hospital bed, waiting for this little guy to inch his way out, she was sitting there with her phone playing games. That that was
my wife was in complete agony the whole time she was.
Oh, really?
There. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dana was during her hospital stay was when I introduced her to Tiny Tower. So she spent
There you go.
the bulk of the time preparing for his birth, making sure that she had her rooms all 3-starred and people were happy to be working on each of those tower floors.
Get them out. The new rooms are going to be done in half an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, best of luck to our friend, that sports gamer.
Yes.
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah, TJ.
Yes,
and also the captain of my Extra Life team, by the way.
Oh, very nice.
Still time to give. I'm still about $2,000 away from my goal. So please do that. Or just join. You can join that sports gamer crew.
There you go.
Oh, hey, I want to ask you guys a question.
Sure.
This is semi-related to tweets. I was having a Twitter conversation with listener and co-host of the Ice Cream Social podcast of the famous Paul the other day.
Uh-huh.
We were chatting about various games coming out, and he was talking about he does not have a Wii U, but he's was telling me that he's been very, very close to pulling the trigger on one just because of things like Mario Maker and Woolly World and things like that. And indeed, but he's also, part of him is like, oh, should I just hold off for the NX? And we were talking about it, and there's the talk that it will not include any sort of disk drive on it, which because my initial thought was, well, you've waited this long, perhaps you could just wait long enough, because I would imagine that Nintendo would work in some sort of backwards compatibility into the NX, but then he brings up the lack of a disk drive.
Yeah, for digital, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then there's obviously the possibility of them just re-releasing all their stuff on the whatever new eShop. I mean, do you guys think that this is going to be a possibility? Do you think the NX will be, even if it's just digital only, backwards compatible, or do you think Nintendo will start fresh?
I think in large part it depends what architecture they're using, because I believe like the GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U are all like PowerPC based. So if they're sticking with that, then I would fully expect the NX to be backwards compatible digitally. And what I imagine they would do is just the eShop would include Wii U games, since those are already out. There's no I wouldn't guess that they'd be re-releasing those. Right. But yeah, and I think it would be a great selling point because, as you mentioned, there are a lot of people sort of on the fence or not interested in buying the Wii U now, especially because it is pretty much like the end of the Wii U's life. But they're missing a lot of really good games that came out for it. Yeah. So, I mean, if Nintendo doesn't make it backwards compatible, I'm going to be surprised and kind of shocked, because having backwards compatible Wii U games, even digitally, is going to help that system initially get a foothold and have a library that people may not have played that are worth playing.
Well, it seems to me that something like Mario Maker, specifically that title, is such kind of a big deal for Nintendo
and Smash Brothers.
Yeah. But just the idea behind Mario, the whole social aspect of it as well, that it seems like it would be foolish on their part, and I'm sure that they would recognize that it is as well, to just sort of abandon that on the Wii U and have that be the last we see of a Mario Maker. So yeah, hopefully that is the case, because I mean, Mario 3D World and New Super Mario.
I would almost go as far to say, if it's not, they have shot themselves in the foot.
Because you're an expert on Nintendo culture, and Nintendo has really shot themselves in the foot this time.
I mean, if they announce it and it's not backwards compatible, I'm going to complain about that.
Well, look out, Reggie! You think you're the only one who can kick ass and take names? We got this guy here.
That's right. I think it'd be really smart of them to do that. I mean, you look at the Wii U being a quote-unquote failed platform, right?
Right.
And Nintendo isn't slowing down like development of really good software, in my opinion, for that platform. Even though many people said 2 or 3 years ago, the Wii U is a flop, they should just stop and release something else.
Yeah.
They've been working on more
Can't wait for
software.
those stories to come around again.
Oh yeah. And I mean, they update Miiverse all the damn time with new features and new layout. Like, even though to me, they're building towards something, right? They're building towards a platform aesthetic. I don't know. Like, they want to make their games like a full platform. That's in part combining. If the NX combines a portable with a home console. That's only going to play into that. So, I mean, yeah, backwards compatibility with Wii U and 3DS, I think, would be perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Very nice.
I would have a built-in library because I've gone all digital on both of those platforms this gen. So, yeah, that'd be good.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Is that a show?
Seems like it.
Let's call that a show.
That's a show.
That is our show for this week. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to comment on, I don't remember your spiel, CJ, to be honest. I know Phil's because I started it, but I don't know CJ's.
You want me to do it?
Comment on something you've heard. You know what? Just I don't even care what CJ says. Go over to player1podcast.com. We have a great message board there with a great community there, so you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners, so I remember that part. There's also a blog there where basically you'll see show updates or anything I write about old Sega stuff, Sega CD and Generation 16 stuff. And I think that's it. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say there, CJ?
Nope.
Thank you.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
Oh, Player One Podcast iPhone application gives you one-touch communication with us via the email.
Yes.
And the voicemail.
No.
And then no. And the Twitters and the what have you. We also have all of our episodes ready to stream our listening device. And the Android cell phone telephone uses the little for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
And so we're there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can join our Steam group. You can slap yourself silly and call yourself Sally. You can do a little dance. You can make a little love. You can get down tonight.
Woo!
If you'd like. You can watch us live most weeks on the youtube.com/P1podcast. We also have a bunch of episodes, past episodes ready there for you to watch as well. Follow our Twitter account to find out when we will be broadcasting our next live show. If you like what you've heard, and how could you, you can also head over to patreon.com/P1podcast. Toss a few shekels our way. Helps keep CJ swimming in blue yarn Yoshis, but only blue toys.
Because video games aren't for girls.
That's right.
That's not. No.
CJ said that to me once. No lie.
That's the lesson you can learn in the Johnston household.
No. That is not true.
That's why all the video games in the house are in a locked office that only Daddy can E for.
Yep. Little Starlight comes over. Can I play Daddy? Nope.
No.
Should have had a penis.
Yikes.
Better luck next time. But if you have a couple extra bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com. There are a few bucks at Seward's Way for his fantastic web series Generation 16.
Long overdue episodes.
Yeah, when's the next one due out?
Not till sometime in November.
Oh my goodness. Well, throw a few more bucks his way. Maybe he can pick up that copy of Duke Nukem 3D for the Genesis. Yeah, there you go. CJ.
Yaha.
Video games are for everybody. You know that, right, buddy?
I absolutely do.
We have fun on this show. We like to poke fun at each other. We do a little ribbon every now and again, but we know.
CJ is not nearly the racist or sexist he sometimes has.
Phil indicates that I am. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have ample CJ fan fiction that is scandalous on its best days.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so.
But thank you, CJ.
Sure.
Why do you have a troll doll on your shelf?
Long story.
Bizarre hair.
Long story.
That's weird. And he's right now. What's that cartridge he's right next to?
Let me see.
Trolls.
Yeah, it's a Kirby game.
Is it a Kirby game?
I got all my Kirby's right there. You see?
Well, I see Kirby Dream World 3, and I see Kirby's Avalanche.
It's Return to Dreamland on the GBA.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
So in your mind, Kirby and trolls are related.
Yes.
Okay, man. Seward.
Yo.
Is that Daisy Duck back there? I see.
I don't.
Always.
Think so.
It is. It is.
Always.
There's a Daisy Duck behind your head. Don't think I'm lying to you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow,
there
is.
Yeah,
You're
see?
Nice.
There you go.
I'm honestly lucky there's just not a giant pile of unfolded laundry behind me.
There we go. My pile of unfolded laundry is just off camera.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. And I guess we'll talk to everyone next week.
Yeah, sure.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.